Now you're listening to Fantastic Formosa with John Abrams in Taipei. We're back with Fantastic Formosa with John, and our previous guest, Cody, decided to hang out a little bit more and talk about his lifelong interest in religion and philosophy, and how that changed his life, and how Taiwan changed his life. Because he, after his teaching and study in the U.S. and a brief trip to Taiwan to study, he decided to come over here full time. And now I must bring up some personal matters. You are married to a local.
Yes, I am.
All right. And how did you meet?
On the internet.
Well, of course, don't we all? Now, and for me, it used to be newspapers. We would put there was a newspaper section in every newspaper about, connections, they call it, or something, and they would have four numbers. You dial into the number, and then you leave there would be four numbers you tap for that person, you leave a message. And it's very silly. And maybe they would call you back. Maybe they wouldn't call you back ever. So I tried that a few times out of college just for fun because I was always kind of curious. But no one ever called me back.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had it coming, I guess. I guess the word no job prospects came up.
Too much philosophy.
Too much philosophy. I had nothing going for me. I was finished. Now, you met your wife where?
So she was living in Taipei, and I was living in Taichung.
Taipei and Taichung are a little bit far away.
Mm-hmm.
And you had, what kind of internet program was this?
I think it was Scout.
Scout? Oh, see, she knows every detail.
She says no, Badu. Oh, it's Badu.
Badu?
Yeah, Badoo, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
This is a local thing? Or
no, I think they're all over the world. But they also, like in Taiwan, people use it as well.
Are they still around, or?
I don't know. If I knew that, that would be a problem. Haven't been on in like 10 years since we met.
Your profile's not there anymore, I hope. Okay, so she's looking at it. I guess you have a picture of yourself, right?
Yeah, but her pictures were a lot prettier than mine, so I wrote her first.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So, was it in English or Chinese, her whole profile, or?
Hers was in English, if I recall correctly.
So she was showing off.
Right, but I wrote her in Chinese also to show off.
Oh yeah. All right. So I hope you didn't wear your tie and you didn't wear your suit and tie.
No. It was just casual pictures.
It wasn't a tie-dye T-shirt with flip-flops or anything.
Maybe because I was kind of a hippie when we met.
All right. Okay. So you decided to meet, have coffee, I guess. Is that the normal?
No, because it was okay. It's a great story.
Wait a minute. She looks like she's shaking her head.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that ain't how we met.
So, because I lived in Taichung and she was in Taipei, I invited her to come down for different parties that were happening in Taichung. And 3 times she said she's coming, and 3 times this woman cancels on me the day before.
Well, we have a phrase for that, right?
Ghosting or?
Tickle. What is it called? Teasing.
Teasing, yeah.
She's teasing you, So, yeah. Now, if she ghosted you, in America, ghosting somebody means you take them off your internet, you block them on your phone, your Facebook, and you just ghost them completely. And that's the new phrase, basically, isn't it?
I think so.
But she wouldn't answer the phone if she had ghosted you. Yeah. But so she's obviously a tease.
Well, she was very popular at that time.
Really?
Yes. in the Taiwanese foreign bars.
Wow.
In Taipei.
In Taipei. She was hitting the, what do you call it, expatriate bars. So let me guess. Expat bars would have been Roxy?
No, her favorite was Revolver.
Oh, that's a strange little one.
Yeah, it's a little one, right?
Yeah, little and weird, I think. It was then. How long ago was this?
This was 10 years ago.
I think it was a funny little bar, if you get my drift, in the beginning, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And then it made some changes. Why there? Because you could smoke outside?
She never smoked. I don't know what her draw was to that place.
Maybe it was because it's close to Chiang Kai-shek Memorial.
Maybe.
She wanted to go there, and she wanted to worship him and come across the street and have some beer. What was her favorite drink?
Well, her favorite drink is a Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
That is her drink.
Jaeger is where's it from exactly? It's like cough syrup.
Right, it's like Baoli Dabi, but from Europe.
And you drop it into a beer mug.
No,
right?
into what's it called? Red Bull.
Red Bull.
So you get very energetic and very wasted at the same time.
Yes, red. There's another one, right? Red Bull and vodka, right?
Probably, I don't know.
I can't remember which one that is.
I'm a Budweiser guy.
I'm strictly a Bud man. Until the most recent commercials came out.
I didn't see this.
We used to say that Buds are for studs.
There you go.
Yeah, and I felt like one after I had a 20. But yeah, American men drink beer. We normally don't mix grapes and grain. That means grapes is wine and grain is beer. So we don't mix those two. It's supposed to be bad for you. And I believe that solidly. So she finally met you. She finally squeezed you into the schedule.
Yes.
And you met her at that bar?
No, she came to Taichung.
She came all the way down there.
All the way to Taichung because I guess she felt guilty for setting me up 3 times. So I picked her up at the Taichung train station.
All right.
And I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. It was worth the wait.
Wow, okay. After 3... And how many years did this go by? 3?
Oh, no, this was just over like a month and a half.
A month and a half of 3, gosh, can't make it.
Whoops, yes.
In America, we call it standing somebody up. I got stood up by somebody. That means someone did not show up for a date. So with cell phones, it's nearly impossible to do that. So... but I had done that a couple of times as a teenager in college, just only because you couldn't contact them to tell them that your car broke down or something terrible happened or whatever. I wish you were on the microphone so you could at least discuss this as a. But I assume that his story is correct. Just shake your head.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she's she's like, she's not going to shake her head. She's I half okay. Well, she must have fell for you right away. She fell like a rock.
She didn't want to like me.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I get that. I understand.
She still doesn't want to like me, because she was very fancy, and I am not.
Fancy.
Yes.
Fancy in what way exactly?
The way she dresses, the way she presents herself, where I was wearing like old jeans, T-shirts, and Crocs.
Crocs?
I still wear Crocs.
Real men don't wear Crocs, pal.
Real men always wear Crocs.
I tried to wear them for a while. I couldn't make it work.
They're so comfortable, though, if you get the right pair.
Yeah. It's that right pair part.
There you go.
They are extremely comfortable. Yeah. You picked her up in your car.
Oh, scooter.
Oh, wow. Now it's very romantic. A scooter came by, and he's in his Crocs. And it wasn't a Harley Davidson. It was
Kimco.
It was a Kimco. And
like a 20-year-old
bad
Kimco.
muffler. So she just fell in love with you right there. I mean, how cute. How amazing. What a man. And she's wearing diamonds, and she's got this amazing dress on, and her hair's done, and she said, "I'm not getting on that bike. I'm not getting on it. I'm crazy." Or
She got on it reluctantly.
all right. So where'd you take her? McDonald's?
No, I think at the time I had a 6-story house to myself.
You had a whole 6-story home.
Yes, in Taichung.
That's a lot of work. Walk up and down those stairs.
It was. That's one reason she eventually wanted to move. But so I took her back there because there were plenty of places to be, and there was a big party in Taichung that night. So then we went to the party.
Okay. How strange. Okay. Yeah, 6 floors. I've been in these things, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. Yeah, the idea of climbing all those stairs. And they have all these strange little rooms that you don't know what to do with.
It was somewhere empty. You didn't know what to do with these little rooms, exactly.
Right. How long did you date before you said the words, "Hey, let's get married,"
I proposed, I think it was 2 months.
It took 2 months to convince you that she's the one.
I think I knew the first day, or maybe even before she visited me.
Oh, wait, before you even met?
There's like this song, I loved you before I met you, and I tell her that song is about me to her.
Really?
Yeah.
And she's like, she's I don't know, she doesn't look convinced, but she's in the studio right now.
So. We've been married over 10 years, and she's still here.
Yeah, well, she hasn't done a runner.
Well, a couple times, but I run faster.
In America, we call it a runner. When you run out on your wife and kids. The father always says, "I'm going to go out for cigarettes," and he does a runner. That means he doesn't come back. Used to be a problem back in the 50s and 60s. And she said no. Right?
Actually, well, it was a surprise. So it was Japanese Valentine's Day. So, which is... No, it was Valentine's Day. We got married on Japanese Valentine's Day. It was on Valentine's Day, and I booked the whole second floor of a restaurant and hired a guitar player to play our song. And we get to this restaurant. She's complaining the whole time on the way there. She's like, "Oh," because it was far away. She's like, "We should just go eat hot pot," because she loves hot pot. I was like, "我们去吃火锅就好了." And when we finally get to the restaurant, and she's been complaining the whole way there, and we get to the second floor, and she's like, "Oh, this place must be horrible. There's nobody on the second floor."
Yeah.
She didn't know that I had already booked the whole second floor.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, her mom and dad and some of her cousins and friends show up because I had invited them to come.
This can be bad. This could be bad. This could have turned out really bad.
It could have.
God. This sounds like an intervention for drugs and alcohol, Everybody shows up, and I mean, that puts a little bit of pressure on her, doesn't it?
Well, but it worked, so.
Well, obviously, she felt guilty felt bad. She had to say something.
Well, I got on one knee, said this poem, and I asked her if she wants to marry me. At first, she just says, "Howla." Just like, okay.
Just like that, just okay.
And I'm like, "Is that a yes?" She's like, "Yes." So.
Oh, gosh, wow. So, did you feel pressure to say yes with your family there? I mean, that must have been.
She says a little.
A little bit. So you use all the tricks.
Yeah. Hey, I knew she was the one. So.
So, you asked the family to leave, and you had dinner. No, I'm sorry. You all had dinner together.
Yes.
All right. So. Now she has to do what? She has to pick out a ring, or...
She had already picked out one before.
Wait a minute. She was ready?
One of our first dates, we were just walking by like a ring store, and she was already looking at rings. So as soon as we got together, pretty shortly afterwards, we were already talking about marriage.
She picked out she's like looking at you like you're out of your mind.
It's true, though.
She's crazy, man. No, I did not pick out a ring, she says. No, are you crazy?
Well, the one she picked out was really expensive. She didn't get that one.
Oh, she's fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And I was a poor PhD student wearing Crocs.
Crocs, yeah. Yeah, you're getting that ring. Oh, yeah.
In your dreams.
I got to ask you, it's like my wife and me, we never agree how we met when anything. So I'm always embarrassed to say, yes, we had our first kiss in this park. And she goes, we didn't. I don't know who you're talking about. And I go, oh, no. She's always doing stuff like that. So, yeah, if you live here a long time, you can get your memories kind of confused. Anyway, she probably wanted a car more than a ring.
Well, luckily her parents had a car that they just gave her to drive.
Wow.
So
that's nice.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Did she stop drinking and hanging out at the Source? Or what was it called?
Revolver.
Revolver, sorry.
Well, our first couple of months together, we saw the sunrise every single day because we were up together partying.
Really? It was open all night?
No, this was she moved to Taiwan with me.
All right.
And so in Taiwan at the time where we lived, we lived in an area with a lot of different foreigners who partied quite often.
Yeah, there are. That's a big city.
Right.
Yeah. I got a friend down there who's a photographer.
Oh, I think I know him.
Yeah, I think you do. He doing a lot of what they call Hollywood pictures, or what do you call them, where the beautiful women dresses them up and takes pictures. I tried to get him to come up to Taipei and participate, but it's a little hard to get up here.
Right.
Yeah. But we've been friends forever. My gosh. And his photography is getting better. That's amazing. But yeah, there are a lot more expatriates here, foreigners, than you would imagine. But I didn't know Taichung had a big bar scene for expatriates. It's a large city. Okay, so you both moved to Taipei, right? Or she moved to Taichung?
She moved to Taichung, and then I was kind of pressured right after that to move to Pingdong.
What?
Because she's from Pingdong.
Right.
And her family had just bought a new house in Pingdong. But it was empty because her family lives up here for work in Taoyuan. So she's like, oh, you poor hippie PhD student, we moved to Pingdong. You can finish your dissertation and just work on the side, and then I can be a princess.
Wow, in that order. The princess part was last.
Well, it was first in her mind, but last from her mouth.
Strategic, very strategic. Well, when I got married, my wife told me that I had to buy her an engagement ring. And I was told by many of my friends that Taiwanese women do not get engagement rings. Is that true? And I thought, why should I get you an engagement ring if Taiwanese women do not practice this? And she said, well, I'm marrying an American, and I want both. So I bought her an engagement ring, and then I had to buy her a wedding ring, and then I had to buy her a special necklace. And I go, when does this end? And I go, oh, my God, we have to have a what? We have a big banquet, right? Chinese tradition. I understand that. But she wanted to have a regular church wedding, just like the movies in America. I go, no, that's it. It's over. We're not doing the traditional church wedding. But it was very difficult to control her. I'm sorry.
It's impossible to control them.
But good for you two. So you were down there for a little while, and then you left. You left Taiwan, right?
Well, at first we were in Pingdong for a little while, and I felt it was so boring, so we moved to Tainan. But then we moved away from Tainan, went back to Pingdong. Then felt Pingdong was boring again, and moved to Kaohsiung. And then went back to Pingdong, and then went back to America.
Okay, all right. And then in America, what happened?
So then I went to teach at UC Berkeley for 2 years.
All right, right. And she was with you?
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. And did you like it there?
She still prefers America.
America.
Yeah.
The crazy place. Yeah, all right. Well, we have such variety, and we are, no question about, the strangest country on the planet. There's just, seems to me at least. So at what point did you come back here?
We came back here last July.
Right, okay. You had a job offer
Mm-hmm.
at a university,
Yeah.
and you took that, grabbed it, came back,
Mm-hmm.
and you took her back home.
Kicking and screaming, yeah.
Kicking and screaming. That's a phrase in America we use. That means she didn't want to come back. When you say, I had to take my kids kicking and screaming to the park yesterday, that means they didn't want to go and they were fighting with me. So that's a common phrase in America. Well, I don't know. Given the cost of inflation in America right now, and the crazy political stuff going on. And I don't know if you saw the new movie, Civil War, but if you do, you might want to watch that. Kentucky will come up in your mind a little bit. Yeah, this new movie, Civil War, is just, it's hard to watch. So I don't know. The costs of living in America are very high. And particularly California has some very expensive property prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they tax you for almost everything now, right?
I think there's an air tax.
Air tax. Did you breathe just now? Yeah, and people are moving out, right? Going to Texas and Florida, and Tennessee is a popular place for some reason. Why is Tennessee so popular? Do you know why?
It could be the whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey, the legend. There's also Kentucky. Come on, Kentucky has some good bourbons. I think those two states should just get together.
Yeah, they should just merge.
Merge.
Kentucky or something.
We had Indiana, Illinois. We used to call it Eliana.
Oh,
that was a great idea. Both basketball giants.
we have Kentuckiana too. Northern Kentucky, Southern Indiana.
You guys are so similar, yeah. We might as well just get together. I mean, why not? We always argued about Cincinnati because Cincinnati was Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and we just thought somebody should just make a deal or something. Something has to be done. But I don't know. Taiwan is so lucky. It lives in a bubble. Would you agree with that? That there's no crime here. There's no air pollution. There's
air pollution.
Well, it's nothing like, come on, L.A. My God, L.A.
I don't know. The crime I definitely have to agree with. We had a friend visiting from America who's Taiwanese here actually, and we had dinner with her till 1 a.m. or something, and then she was going home. I'm like, oh, be careful where you go. Don't walk alone at night. And she laughed because she knew it was a joke because Taiwan is so safe. You don't have to worry. Where in America, you don't walk alone at night.
You carry a gun.
Right. I used to not to ride my bike at night in California because I have a nice bike in case it got stolen.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything like you do here in biking. Right. We have several mutual friends who love to bike around Yamingshan and such. And I had a Taiwanese friend move to L.A. and working for the government here. I asked him how he was going to get to work and the local Taiwan office there, and he said he was going to bicycle. I said, well, no. I said, you're out of your mind. And he did try for a couple of weeks, and then finally he quit.
After the bike was stolen? Or?
We don't know, but he just said no. He didn't want to talk about it. I don't even recognize the U.S. anymore. It's quite horrific. Do you think Taiwanese have a dreamy idea of America?
100%. I think so. I think a lot of the world does, though, too, just in general. Because the America you see on TV, on movies.
Right.
And that's what you always see.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I always warn people. I'll I'll have someone come to me and say, what's your advice? I'm going to go to graduate school, and I want to know automatically where it is, what part of the
Mm-hmm.
country, and I always, I said, well, it's a 4-year or a 3-year or a 2-year program, whatever. Maybe it's undergrad program, who knows? But spend your first year hanging out with the local Chinese community on campus. They're the
Mm-hmm.
Chinese campus community. And they'll teach you how to get a driver's license and how to avoid this professor. Where's the best place to get a rent apartment. And after the first 2 semesters, don't ghost them, but get rid of them
Mm-hmm.
because your English is not going to get any better. You have to get rid of them. Then you start mixing it up with the locals. Otherwise, you're not going to. But when people tell me they're going to LA or someplace like that, I go, oh no, Chicago.
Mm.
I go, no, bad idea. But that's the best university. I go, yeah, but if you've ever been there, you'll know that it's surrounded by, a wall basically. Crime is just horrific. So we have this big election coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my
A
God.
lot of fun.
We have the election of elections of American history. We have 2 people that are exact opposites.
Mm.
We don't know what to do. Is it the end of the world?
I don't think the world, maybe America.
Does that concern you that you might get stuck here? We can't go back.
This is a good place to get stuck.
Yeah, agreed. Totally
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. The bubble. The
Mhm.
bubble concerns me though.
Yeah, because Taiwan doesn't really know how good it has it and doesn't know how easily that could be lost.
Yes, right. Agreed. Now you've traveled other parts of Asia.
Only briefly, like in China, Singapore,
Mm. Now, where in China have you been?
Shanghai.
For a study or just
It was for a conference.
a conference on religion?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That must be very strange to have a conference on religion in a country where it's basically outlawed. But I'm sure it was no problem.
We didn't have any problems.
Okay. What did the mainland Chinese come up with? Their professors. What did they have to say about their historical religious experience, I guess?
Well, we didn't really talk about the modern period at all. We were mainly talking about
Just
like,
skip that part.
yeah, let's talk about Tang Dynasty. It's all safe back then.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any jealousy on their part that Taiwan has most of those documents here, that they kind of rescued them?
I think the academics themselves are happy that they survived.
They survived, right?
Right. Like the people I'm dealing with who are scholars, like, thank God we still have this material to get data from.
Right. Now they can come here, right, and get access to the data.
I think so. At that time, I know they could. I don't know.
Right.
This was a few years ago, though, and I think travel is different now. I'm not
Mm.
100% sure.
Has the text and stuff been uploaded onto the internet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's international.
Yeah, there's like 2 different huge databases of the Chinese Buddhist canon.
All right.
One is run out of here in Taiwan, and one is run out of Japan.
All right. So they've rescued it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. There must be some minor text of interest as well.
I'm sure there's stuff we haven't found, too, Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it reminds me of some of the old texts they found in, I guess it's Israel or Palestine, that have these old texts they found. What were they called?
The Dead Sea Scrolls?
The Dead Sea Scrolls that
Yeah.
were found purely by accident, right?
Mhm.
In a cave.
Right.
Where was the cave?
Somewhere in the Negev Desert near the Dead Sea.
Right. Somebody threw a rock it broke open a vase,
Right.
and someone thought, what? You know, and just pure luck. We rescued these documents. Now, they originally, they're all Hebrew, if I understand correctly. How close to today's records are they?
Some of them are very close. Some of them are somewhat different. Like I think like the book of Isaiah, the main one they found has verses in it that we don't have, if I remember correctly. So there are some variations.
All right. Yeah. Now they've all been updated, or uploaded on the internet, right? You can see them all, and that's a wonderful thing about computers. So, what is your future plans in Taiwan? What are you going to do here?
I don't know. That depends on how happy my wife becomes. And
how many diamonds you buy her? No.
And just, I love Taiwan. I'm happy to stay for a long time if things work out well. And my wife gets happy. If not, we'll see. I'm pretty flexible with future plans. My life has taught me to be flexible.
You're I thought we were talking on another subject recently about you possibly even trying to get a not permanent, but citizenship.
Perhaps I could do that because I've had my ARC for many years. So if after, making whatever it is, substantial contributions to the nation of the ROC or whatever the language is, I would apply.
All right. Is that one of the requirements?
Yeah, you have to make some sort of contribution. You have to do like a Chinese test. My Chinese would have to get a little bit better probably.
Okay. Used to be a real nightmare just to get a permanent resident when I first got here in the late 1990s. You basically had to, oh my God, two teams of lawyers to work it out.
I think they're handed them out like buy one get one free nowadays.
Yeah, now they're actually they're too easy to get, in my opinion. But I know other countries have the same system, but now if you get citizenship here, do you lose your American passport or? So,
if I could go that route now and lose my American passport to become a Taiwanese citizen.
Oh,
thank you, no, thank you. So
okay.
The other way though is if you make like a major contribution to Taiwan, you don't have to do that. And that's a new thing. Only I don't know the number. Like the number is always rising of a few foreigners who have gone that new route to get Taiwanese citizenship and keep their original citizenship as well.
Yeah, I know the Taiwanese government also gives out medals of merit or something like that to dignitaries that come over from the United States, mostly government people. They'll give some sort of medal of merit. I have a lot of friends who've gotten these over the years. Brilliant Star, I think it's called. And they get a permanent resident card out of it.
Oh.
I think, well, okay, that's nice. This was before they were giving them out to everybody now.
Right.
Now they don't mean anything. But, get a medal. That'd be great. So, you should. Do you have to apply for the medal yourself or just somebody?
The medal, I don't know.
How does that medal? You got to look into the medal thing. The Brilliant, I think it's called the Brilliant Star.
Okay.
See, I've never gotten a medal for anything. And I feel cheated by the world. But, what do you think is, so many positive things about Taiwan? What do you think are the negative areas that Taiwan can improve on?
Banking.
Banking. What's wrong with banking?
It's stuck in like 1920s.
Really?
Well, they still keep banker hours at 3:30. Everything closes. You cannot have joint bank accounts like with your spouse. And the banking is quick, But like you go there and they're still using the printers with like the
Right.
little from like 1980.
Mm.
So the system is just behind in baking. Baking needs to step it up.
Talking about the bank card books that you slide in and
Yeah, all of the.
yeah. I hadn't seen those either since I'd left America 20 years ago.
Right, we don't have those anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like when I was a kid. My grandma had
yeah.
that. So banking, driving,
What's wrong with driving?
everything.
Oh, really? I'm terrified to drive here. So
Exactly.
I don't. I don't. Used to be worse.
That's what people say, but I like to live in the space between good and better, and not bad and worse.
Okay. All right. All right. What is it wrong? I mean, they don't use their signals, the lights, turn left, turn right signal. Is that what it bothers you, or?
That's like the smallest thing. Like that's California too.
Oh, really? All right.
It's just people in Taiwan are so friendly and so well intentioned.
Until they hit you.
Well, but there's an old Disney cartoon with Goofy
Right.
being a nice guy, then he gets into a car and kind of turns like a demon. He's like really mean. That's what Taiwan feels like.
Okay.
It-
It is kind of how they are. Yeah. I've noticed that.
right.
They will hit you.
Yeah, they just hit you there. Okay, 随便.
Yeah. My wife has told me that, I always tell her how friendly and nice Taiwanese are.
Mm-hmm.
She says, oh, they're friendly and nice to you because you're a foreigner. They're not friendly and nice to each other. I go, really?
There is some of that, like a foreigner, like white male privilege here. I
Oh,
do see-
really? Now we have a white privilege here.
Here we do.
I thought that was America.
I think it actually works here though, because
Really?
we do get put on like kind of a pedestal sometimes. I think, and things we do bad are kind of ignored. Oh, they're just a foreigner.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Don't know what they're
it's
doing.
like lower expectations for us.
You can live here 30 years, like, oh, welcome to Taiwan.
Exactly.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I nod. I says, oh, thank you. I'm so lost, and I hate to say this. When I got here in 97, I would just get the map out to meet girls, on the corners. I would get the map out and act like I'm lost.
Is that how you met your wife?
And I meet these pretty girls. I go, oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I was looking for a coffee shop. Oh, there's a nice one over here. And, would you like to have coffee with me? And we could do a language exchange. And, No, I met my wife very differently. I can't say exactly which government agency here in Taiwan introduced us, but yeah. And she, I don't know what she thought of me, but she knew who I was, and it was kind of a weird circumstance.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it well, so yeah. So what else? You got driving, banking,
the weather, but they can't
what's wrong
change
with
that.
the weather?
It's a sauna half a year.
Well, go to the Philippines if you want a sauna.
Well, like I said, I like to live between good and better, not bad and worse.
Man, Singapore too. If you
Singapore, when I
wanna
visited
really,
there, yeah. No.
Congratulations, you've arrived.
I prefer Taiwan to that. But I think those are the really things. And well, like the cable MOD could be better, but that's something small. You can use a VPN to watch American TV.
I had 3 TV stations when I got
In my
here.
day, we used to walk to school in the snow both ways in the summer.
I learned my Chinese numbers, how to say them from these commercials on TV.
Kompa kong kong.
And then she says, "Why me? Call me." And she'd give me these phone numbers, and I'd say the numbers over and over during the commercial breaks. And it's a strange way to learn Chinese.
And then you called the numbers?
No, obviously not. She was waiting, of course, but but I thought it's a long time ago. But yeah, okay. So we have weather, which is nothing you can do.
Right.
Yeah. What else?
I think that's about it. Is the driving and the banking. Everything else, I think, is pretty cool.
You're pretty easy to, you know, just be happy.
Well, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The food is good. It's convenient. I really can't think of of actually living here.
Mm. Yeah, I can't ever, I lived all over Asia and traveled throughout, different parts of Middle East, India, whatever, which are completely different stories. But having lived in Asia, different places, yeah, I can say that Taiwan is by far the easiest, most pleasant, the cheapest way. And I don't have to look over my back, shoulder. That means I feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt safe in places like Thailand or the Philippines, or it was too expensive in Korea and Japan. And I always, in China, of course, it's China. It's difficult. Hong Kong is expensive. So Taiwan was a nice middle ground. But a lot of people thought Taiwan back in the 1990s was a flyover country. They called it. You fly over Taiwan to go to China to make money, real estate, business. And for a longest time, I sort of enjoyed that Taiwan was mine. I didn't have to share Taiwan with anybody. So, and now we have so many foreigners here now.
Right, especially up here in the north.
Yes, China has scared away all the foreigners, the foreign businessmen, the foreign English teachers, everybody, journalists. True. And now we have a flood of foreigners here now in Taipei. And, the American Club is an example. I mean, 5 years ago, they were begging for members.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, now they can't take everybody.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah, there's a waiting list. So Taiwan has sort of enjoyed China's political and economic problems and a COVID disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Taiwan can use that to their advantage economically as well and get some interest focused on Taiwan and Washington, D.C. as well. Nothing else. How about your wife? Does she have anything she doesn't like about Taiwan?
I think a lot of things.
Is it the food?
No, she likes the food.
She's a food person.
Not sure what that's supposed to mean, but
what I'm saying is that cuisine. She likes Chinese cuisine.
She's not fancy with food, just in clothes.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Take her to McDonald's and she's super happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Super happy with a Super Mac.
With a Super Mac, mainly the fries. She'll eat the fries before she eats the Mac, and then she'll order more fries.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she likes hot pot a lot.
Hot pot's good.
Yeah, she'll eat hot pot every day if I'd allow it.
I'm a big Mongolian barbecue guy. Oh my gosh.
She likes Korean barbecue, but because it's expensive, so she's like,
money.
Yeah.
Mongolian barbecues were everywhere when I first got here, and now they're gone. I don't know what happened. There's only like 3 left. Did
Mongolia make Taiwan mad?
I don't know what happened. They were literally every corner when I first got here in '97.
Because they're big in America now. You go to the mall.
Are they the same though?
Well, you just fill up a bowl of whatever you want to put in your stuff.
Right.
And then you take it to the person, and then they throw all the noodles on top of it and stir fry for you.
I don't put noodles on my. I have 2 bowls. I have 1 bowl of vegetables and 1 bowl of meat.
Okay. Hold the noodles.
And the people are like, what? If I could carry 4 bowls, then I'd say put them all together as 1.
Oh, I know one thing she doesn't like in Taiwan are the wages.
How much you get paid.
Right, just because the salary here hasn't changed in 20 years, maybe even longer. While, of course, inflation has gone up.
Right. Yeah, that is an issue. Because when I work for a U.S. company and paid in U.S. dollars here, I'll have my money wired to my local bank here, and they're in shock.
Right.
Yeah, they'll even call me and ask me if there's a problem.
You have too much money.
You know, where does this money come from? So anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming again, and Fantastic Formosa is proud to give you a variety of different people from around the world. So thanks, Cody.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.